Good morning. This is Sunday Ozarks at Large. I'm Kyle Kellums. First up this morning, we take a trip to Madison Avenue. Not that Madison Avenue. It's the one in Berryville, Arkansas. We're there to attend the grand reopening of a century-old hotel, and Ozarks at Large's Jacqueline Froelich takes us there.
For more than 30 years, the Grand View Hotel stood mostly vacant on the southeast corner of Berryville Town Square in central Carroll County. The last tenant, a pack rat who shall go unnamed, attempted to repair the place, fix the roof, install some electric, but filled it with junk instead. But 2 years ago, an ambitious neophyte filmmaker and world traveler by the name of Baron Alexander Verdin paid $250,000 for the historic structure and has been restoring it ever since. And this day marks the grand opening of the Grand View Hotel. It's a sultry summer Saturday afternoon, and the new air conditioning system is yet to be installed. So for now, large electric fans help keep visitors cool. An hour before the ribbon-cutting ceremony, Ginger Oakes, director of the Berryville Chamber of Commerce, sat in a newly varnished mirrored ballroom holding a photograph taken of her and her sister in the same place back in 1958.
Well, it just takes you back in time, really, but my mother and my family all still live here, and they are just waiting for the time to get to come in here and see this again. It'll make them feel like youngsters again to go back.
Dozens of young and old mill about the square waiting in anticipation. Berryville is the Carroll County seat, incorporated in 1876. In 1960, the county counted 11,000 residents. Today, over 25,000 people live here, 5,000 of them in Berryville. Like Sammy Joe Franklin, wearing blue jeans, a white shirt, and a cowboy hat, he sat on a park bench in the shade across from the hotel, reminiscing.
Yeah, my dad was born and raised here in Berryville, and of course I've been over here with him ever since about knee high, but I like Berryville. Berryville's a good town. Yeah, I'm glad to see them get the hotel and get it going again. And I remember when the square was round like this instead of straight through. And
there was no road cutting through the middle of it.
No, ma'am. Oh. And of course I know some of the things that my dad used to tell me, that on Sunday they'd spend their afternoons single-footing their horses around the square, but we love Berryville, and I work over to Hatchery at Green Forest, and but I've got a little farm out here, out of town, and it's a farmer's town. Berryville is. It's a good town.
Virginia Jackson couldn't be more thrilled about the old hotel coming back to life.
I have lived here for 79 years. Was born and raised here, and have seen this, but I had never been in it too many times till my children got up. So I had my kids' pictures made here.
I'm Janice Ferris Howard, and the opening of the Grand View Hotel just makes me feel like I'm 8 years old again. I remember just staying up on the square a lot with my father. My father worked here as a barber, and we could take a quarter and go to the Berryville Drug for ice cream and go to the Ben Franklin store and have money left over.
Mayor Tim McKinney was on hand to greet the public and support the project. He's been mayor for 17 years.
It's just one of those projects that's got the whole town excited. Everybody's, they've looked at this whole place all their life. Like me, they grew up here, and I can actually remember when it was open. So I'm pretty, I went to a few functions there in my younger days before it closed in the late 60s. So it's just kind of bringing the whole town together in the square, and the activities we're having up here.
Ginger, we need a lot more ribbon.
By this time, the sidewalk in front of the hotel was jammed with residents from both sides of the river, as they say here. Eureka Springs to the west, Berryville to the east. The Eureka crowd held a red ribbon, the Berryville a purple one. They were joined by a large bow. Baron Alexander Verdin, along with his partners Sandra Doss and Aaron McCullough, stepped forward to cut the ribbon in two.
Hi. The theme of our opening is working together in Carroll County, because together we can all make a better place and a happier place. Sandra and Aaron, this is Team Grandview.
Originally built as the St. George Hotel in 1902, the Grandview was a comfortable stopover for train passengers aboard the Missouri North Arkansas Railroad. Today, the brick-encased entrance leads to a gleaming, freshly painted lobby. The original pine floors and oak wainscoting are refinished, and light fixtures illuminate the place, but only on the first floor. There are 2 more floors to go before the guests can be checked in, as well as wrought iron porches to be installed. And the entire community seems grateful to Alexander Verdon, a retired deep-sea diver and hopeful filmmaker, who fell in love with the Ozarks and this place.
It took me about 5 years before I had enough money to make the down payment and everything, and it took us 6 months to get the financing even after that. And we've been working on it about 18 months now, just straight through.
How are you being funded?
I remodeled a bunch of houses, and I flipped them.
It's like Monopoly. We traded 4 houses for a hotel. We traded.
The spirit of this place. Describe the energy of this building and why it's significant.
You could feel like when we get to each stage, you could feel the building like breathe.
Yeah.
You know, because when we first got in here, there were pigeons flying through here.
One of the biggest things, the Grandview used to be a big community building. Everyone used to meet up here, and we want it to be that again. We want everyone in Carroll County and around to enjoy it and to just come and enjoy the building and the county and all that.
That's why our theme is working together in Carroll County.
Berryville Square is as quaint as any inhabited rural town square in Arkansas. This one has a drugstore, bank, legal firms, a malt shop, even a tiny Latino grocery store. A Tyson plant operates in town. 2 museums and now the new old Grand View Hotel. Merchant Susan Croats worked the register of her store. She and her husband Dan operate Sow's Ear Antiques and Books.
We're just so very proud of Alexander and Sandra and their team for the efforts that they've put in these first steps in bringing back the Grandview Hotel as the social and historic landmark that it once was.
Meanwhile, back at the hotel, a local quartet, the Jazz Mafia, entertains the lingering crowd. Eventually, the Grand Hotel will offer much more than accommodations. Alexander Verdon and his partners plan to install Ozarks, a cooperative digital production facility where artists can create film, video, animation, and music projects. They also hope to archive Ozark mountain music and storytelling, including the tale of the Grand View Hotel. Reporting for Ozarks at Large, I'm Jacqueline Froelich.